Would be nice if I had my headset on, huh? Guys, once again, I want to say something. Thank you for stopping by. I'm sorry, guys. I was reading something. Guys, like I said before my mic uh, mysteriously turned on, thank you for stopping by. My name is Frank Gallows. I stream every day, guys, or as often as possible, usually in the weekdays. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, that's my main streams. We're kind of working out a daytime stream. So, uh, we're just going to try a few things out. What I thought I'd do today, guys, is do some setup for some streams we're going to do later, right? So, um, we're going to play some DC for a little bit. Then we're more than likely going to play a little bit of Elder Scrolls, mostly making a character, setting them up for the stream. And what I think a good plan for that game is going to be we're going to have a character made just for the stream. And then if the streams pick up and guys like the stream, um, we'll use that character as our main character from then forward, moving forward. Uh, that is not an easy task, making a character in any MMO, mostly because, you have to keep up to date with dailies and stuff like that. So, I have a couple ideas in mind when it comes to that kind of game, and this one as well. So, we'll talk about it more towards the nighttime stream when I feel like a lot of people will be on. Um, with that said, though, guys, let's go ahead and refresh our chat. Okay, there we go. With that said, guys, a little bit of DC. Um, Basically, I think we'll do our dailies. We'll try to wrap up anything we need to do in terms of like the artifact that we're going to use. Um, Try to get some materials. I could have easily did it last night if I slept a little bit longer. I thought it'd be good to do it on stream for prosperity. Right, so the plan is, uh, in summary, the plan is a little bit of DC, a little bit of Elder Scrolls, and then possibly a little bit of Bloodborne. We'll see how the stream goes, and then we'll come back later on tonight and we'll do our stream. Uh, some full disclosure, guys. I probably mentioned this in the nighttime stream. The reason the daytime stream is in such flux is because since I end around 1 a.m. my time, a lot of the time, or it'll be like 12:50, 12:45, something like that, Eastern time, my time. Uh, to begin with, I'm a night owl, so I have a hell of a time going to sleep for starters, and then me staying up to that time. By the time I go to bed, it's pretty late, and then I wake up late, which means I do my chores late, my daily routine late, and then it's a never-ending cycle, guys. But that's life sometimes if you're trying to do things like this. I can't really complain. Things have been going pretty good. So, we're just going to keep going, keep chopping at the tree. I always say that. Um, with that said, though, let's do some of our dailies. First of all, guys, basic MMO stuff, log in, get your daily reward, get your battle pass shit, whatever you want to do. So we got some stuff here. I got a piece of gear. I'm holding on to those pieces of gear for later. And I could possibly pass them off to like a lower level character. Um, maybe. If we keep playing the game and staying on PC, um, eventually I would like 3 characters, one healer, one tank, one controller. We could talk about that later on in life, guys. So let's hold that together. That's at 100. Excuse me, guys. Basically, we're going to get these runes to 100. You might know them more as augments. They're a little bit different for each character. It's more of a roleplay aspect, guys. Let's look at it briefly, actually. So basically, guys, augments are things that go on your character's body, and they give you like a passive like stat increases, right? So we're using precision ones, they increase our precision, as well as health and power, organization, right? There's all kinds of augments. Um, the thing about this, guys, is that depending on which class you start with, and more so the mentor you have, right? You can have 3 mentors if you're a hero and 3 if you're a villain. Um, these things will change and look different, right? So, um, for us, it's called augments, right? And these are called runes, right? When you say you use a Batman mentor, they'll be called, since he's gadgets, they'll be called like um, implants, right? Because you're using technology to enhance yourself. And if you're using someone that has superpowers and you have a Superman mentor, they'll be called metagenes or genes because you're born off those powers, right? So if you're looking at it and it looks a little bit different, that's because you have a different mentor. But they serve the same purpose and they're exactly the same thing. Why they went with more of a role play aspect instead of streamlining it? If I were them, I would have just streamlined it and called it the same thing across the board so there's no confusion. But generally, you hear people call them augments, right? And you go here, it might look different. Think nothing of it. The only thing that matters is the stat that it increases for you. If you're a might user and you just use your powers, throw might on there. If you like using your weapons, precision. If you're a tank, you're gonna need dom rooms. You're gonna need dom rooms, and if you're a healer, you use resto. So, resto stands for restoration. So keep that in mind, folks. With that said, let us. Should we start off strong and do our dailies, guys? Right? Should we just go to? Uh, should we just teleport to Cursed Gotham? There's a plan right there. Or we could do the anniversary. Um, why don't we start out with the anniversary, right? There's only a few more days left of that. I started very late in the anniversary life cycle, so I can only get a couple pieces of like gear. It's an event, guys, or events come and go, so this will be gone for another year. Once it's gone, you can do things to supplement that, but that is pay to win bullshit. So I won't speak on it too much, guys. It is what it is. Um, if you're new, definitely don't open your wallet up, guys. Right? Just try to experience the game first. Make sure you actually like it and you want to play it. I can't stress that enough, right? A lot of people try a new game and then they watch like a YouTube video and they see all the things that people say they should have, but they're talking about end game stuff a lot of the time. They don't talk about the process of you actually enjoying the game you're playing. Um, you know, just spend your money responsibly. Hopefully, you're an adult, right? I'm not going to baby an adult, but you should be spending responsibly. Um, with that said, though, I'm trying to just finish up this fate stuff here. So we are missing. We're not going to make it. We're not going to make it unless we get a bunch of marks. I have the feet, the legs, we're missing the waist. You have the chest. Arguably, I'll get the helmet. The back, I'm not really a fan of. It's big old wings, and they don't flap either. Okay, so let's grab all these missions. These are daily quests. These ones that I can't access, these are weeklies. So we'll leave those until Thursday. Weeklies reset every Thursday here, folks. Um, and I'll grab this one. This one is a solo, so this first. And as usual, guys, thank you for stopping by and hanging out. I'm not sure how long the stream is going to be, guys. We're trying out different daytime streams. A lot of the people that watch me are a few hours behind to begin with, right? So I always have to take that to account. Uh, Speed him. As you can see, guys, we're slowly just getting more powerful, right? The better gear I get, the higher my augments get, the stronger my artifact gets. It all adds up. and eventually we will be at the end game if we keep playing the way we do. Hopefully, sooner rather than later. Me personally, we can skip these ads to the sides, guys. They're not really going to give me anything, so I'm just going to jump down the stairway. Get these ads here. If I wanted to, I could probably just spam this move and nuke him. Not too much trouble. Like I said, this is kind of easy mode, for an event. So you really won't have to struggle, basically. And there's a boss here. This is a healing barrel, by the way, guys. So you pop it, make sure he's taken care of. There is combat mechanics in the game. There are combat mechanics, right? So blocking beats like if you do a string of like attacks, eventually you will knock them down because you're blocking for a long time. If they do a heavy attack and you block, it will knock them down. If you're blocking and they do a ranged attack, like a heavy ranged attack, it will break your block, right? So there's kind of like a rock paper scissor system. I know we don't talk about it much, mostly because I just know what I'm doing and it's kind of second nature to me. But those are in the game, and you can use those, as you can see, to your advantage. Some free hits in, you'll get some control resistance, right? So you'll get a chance to do some good attacks of your own. If the enemy is like a lot higher level than you, a lot of the times this won't matter because he'll just power through a lot of your moves. Keep that in mind as well. So when it comes down to it, if your best bet a lot of the time, if you notice you're getting hit really hard, is to just hit them as hard as you possibly can, so that they die, and then the mechanics won't matter. Right? So that's done. And we're doing this for a reason, guys. The reason I wanted to do this first is so that we can get some nth metals. Nth metals just drop, guys, and then naturally over time while you're killing opponents and stuff like that. So I wanted to start that off, and the reason is because we are very, very close to getting this to 80. As you can see, very, very close. Once we hit 80, guys, we're going to have to break through. And I'm praying to Lord Jesus that we can break through with our purple seal because we only have one of them. But we'll pray later. If it doesn't work, I'm never going to church again, guys. God damn it. But hopefully it'll work, and then we'll have our first artifacts at rank 80, which is not bad for a free-to-play account. Uh, this actually came pretty quickly too because, like I said, we kind of know what we're doing here, and also, we play semi-casually. I want to say casually, semi-casually. So we have a chance to save our resources. Right? People that just started, they might have like grabbed a bunch of artifacts and dumped everything into, you know, equally, thinking it will make a difference. It really doesn't. You might want to get it up to snuff first. Um, with that said, though, let's finish our dailies and then we'll work on our artifact. I think that is a good idea. And since it's my stream, I'm the boss, and what I say goes. And we're gonna do these dailies, and you know, if you played any game with dailies, guys, it's just busy work. That's all it is, busy work. And since as you can see, right, these characters here, these are other players. They're purple. They're purple because they're on a different faction, right? So I'm a hero, they're a villain. So they're purple for me. If you were a villain and you saw a hero walk by, they'd be purple as well. If they're red, that means that they have their PvP flag up, right? So if you have your PvP flag up and they have theirs, they'll be red. And that means that you can fight them in the open world. You have to be careful with that, honestly. Right? Like any game where player killing is a thing, There's always people waiting in the rafters to come down and cave your head in. Mhm. I think we're almost done with this. We just need a few more of those paradox kind of portals to get closed. There's a handful of things here. Beat it, loading soldiers up. You see these guys right here. Those are the Atlantean soldiers. These are Paradox Reapers, right? We have to basically either banish them or summon them. That way they're in phase with our world. That way we can actually beat them up. So basically, guys, this map is beat everybody up. Pretty simple, right? And then the other part of it is beat everybody up. A very straightforward game. Guess what? Better than Suicide Squad right now is going. I heard that game is a shit show. I'm not gonna play it. You know what? Let's go ahead and get our ally up. Okay, let's go. Okay, we're done with this section. We have a couple more things to do here. It's on the side of the map. There are bounties here. There's one right there. That's Cerberus, guys. I know he's kind of cute in this game, but he does pack a punch. He does a lot of damage. We don't have a healer with us, so we have to be very careful. That person is in a wall of fire, so I can't really stop to help him. Every so often, a dog bone will drop down, and then they have to put in a doggy bowl. Just like a little mechanic there. Very basic mechanics, guys. Nothing overly complicated. So then he eats the little doggy bone and he gets captured, right? And then you have your chance to get some free hits out. So that's what we're gonna do. Doesn't look like there's many people here. And I see the dog bone, so I'm gonna go for it. Hopefully, we can pick it up in time. This is gonna be slow going because there's not that many people, right? These bounties are intended for like 8 people, at least 8 people. There's a few people around. Someone is like just standing there, so we're not really getting our damage up. The good thing is, though, I think we've done enough damage where if we walk away and they win, we will get credit. But we're not going to do that. Let's try to tough it out. We're going to have to stay away from this fire. Oh, things are going bad. We're on pickup duty, guys. Okay. Okay, clear issue here. Clear issue. You see, guys, this is why I like. This is why I started leaning towards like battle tanking. That way we can tank and do a little bit of damage. Uh, this Cerberus is not being reined in. That's one of the big issues, right? Uh, Second of all, our survivability is basically nil, right? We have our if we get hit, we're basically gonna get hit very hard and then possibly die within a couple seconds. Right? The punishment is very real. Um, can't do much about it. You can see people are standing around, right? So we're having a war here for sure. Having a battle. And fire this burn. Fire this burn, folks. There's a lack of rolls fighting them right now. We fought him so much, guys, that we have our 100% supercharge. We're gonna save that. Hopefully someone brings that dog bone in. I really need another hit of this caffeine, though. Hmm. I'm gonna assume that these are very new people here, not using the mechanic, right? But we got it. Okay, we made it through. Sorry, guys, I had to focus there. Um, let's finish our dailies up, right? And then we can see if we can level up our artifact, guys. Then we'll do the rest of our dailies. And who's over here? Another hero. It's cool if you see someone else doing the same thing, right? Just try to help them out because you'll get credit too, right? So as long as you're doing your part, you'll be don't know how that shadow showed up over there. Usually they're relegated to the to the bridges. Someone must have trained them. But I think we're done with our dailies here. So what we're gonna do, guys, we'll collect our gear, salvage it, break it down, all that kind of stuff. Um, then we'll head off to the watchtower. And we'll see if we can level up our artifact. God, this is gonna be make or break right here. I'm dreading it a little bit, but let's go ahead and go to the watchtower early. We'll salvage all the gear, our loot. We'll see if we can use it. We'll grab our seal out of the bank as well, but I'll do that last. Maybe some other players hanging out. There's some like cosplayers here. It's very hard to cosplay in this game if you're cosplaying like an anime character, guys, because this game just doesn't have anime pieces. It just doesn't. So people try their best. Sometimes it's very hit or miss. Um, Not really the kind of game where that flies, unless you're playing, unless you're making like a Western superhero, like you might have a better chance. There are certain parts that look similar, but making an anime character is just not the same in this game. You have to be really creative and have some really good costume pieces on you. With that said, though, let's come over here to this table. That way we can open this. Hmm. We can pass this off to somebody else, hopefully. Um, Salvage. All right. So we're all set up, guys. This is going to be the frustrating part, possibly. And we'll talk about it right now as soon as we get the seal up. Oh, we do have our seal. And we can't trade this, I see. Okay. So, guys, we talked about artifacts a lot already. You will need artifacts, guys, right? And you need them to be comfortably. Eventually, you want to get them to at least be 160. 120 is fine if you're, still new and fresh. But you get the first bonus for your artifact, right? As you can see, if you look to the right-hand side, we get something called Godwave Strength. Now, it's grayed out because we don't have it. For most artifacts, you unlock those abilities at 80, right? So you at least want them to be at 80. As example, Quizlet, right? Everything is grayed out, but once you get to 80, you see Quizlet will be there. Uh, Same thing for Grimorum, right? So for a lot of artifacts, it's going to be at 80. So you want them to at least be 80 to get their bonuses to begin with, and then eventually 120, and then 60, and then if you go that hard, 200. The thing is, guys, in order for a breakthrough to occur, as you can see here. Oh wait, we need to invest. Oh my God, we're a little ways off, guys. What the hell is going on right now? We're a little ways off, like a tiny, tiny amount. Now, what can we do about that, guys? Huh? Let's find out. Okay, guys. Sorry, we're doing like some construction here, so that's a meter from time to time. Basically, guys, we're just kind of looking around the watchtower real quick just to see if I could pick up a collection. That should give me like a little bit of an F metal collect, like a small amount of F metals. I don't see it here, so change of plans. What we'll do is we'll do our daily solo mission, and that should give me some Nth metals, guys, and then we can do our thing. So let's go ahead and do that quickly. Um, We don't want to do that. I want to do the solo event. So that's not it. This is it actually. Let's do this. We'll do that. Hopefully, we'll get some nth medals, and then we can continue on. And if we get any F medals, we'll hold on to them till this place is over, till this instance is over. Should be okay. Nothing yet. I'm just hoping we get something. We will get something eventually, right? It's kind of like on an invisible timer. Um, certain things will give you the for sure, some won't. Maybe beating her when she turns into a boss will help. Now we're just doing a slow single target build here. This is kind of a supplement because we don't have all our pieces ready, right? So there's not that many moves I can clip in between. We're just kind of just doing a bunch of weapon damage as much as humanly possible. Hmm. Unfortunately, you cannot skip these cutscenes, to my knowledge. Maybe there's a maybe there's somewhere like in the options or like in this room that I can hit to skip the cutscene. Usually, you have to watch the cutscene at least once before you're able to skip it. So we'll be on the lookout and see maybe if there's like a little button we can hit here later on. We already watched it, so we can't hit it now. We can actually check here. Let's see. I don't see anything. Well, Unfortunately, we don't have a supercharge ready. I wish we did. It would have helped a lot. Especially this load out here. Okay, not too bad. So beating her should get us some end medals, I'm hoping. Doesn't look like we got anything. Oh, we got some end medals. Okay, cool. So let's equip this weapon here. We're going to use brawling. Guys, before you do that, make sure if you have like a bunch of weapons unlocked, you see this is martial arts here, right? They look similar because they're both like fist weapons, right? So make sure this one says brawling if you're using brawling. We'll use the claws. Okay, so we're done. All right, this should get us to our breakthrough, right? You cannot keep leveling the artifact up if you don't meet the breakthrough, right? You could overload it with materials and hopefully it'll count. Um, but since we're at our current status, we can't do that. So what do we do, guys? First, we level up our augments. Okay, so guys, remember in summary, you want your artifacts at least be level 80 to begin with so that you have their bonuses. Keep in mind, guys, if you're doing something like this, you might want to check each artifact. Um, they are kind of normalized, so basically they'll have the same kind of leveling route, right? 80, 120, 160, and then 200. Some of them, if I remember right, unless it got patched, are a little bit different when it comes to leveling, meaning that you'll get your bonuses from them a little bit later. If you're in the watchtower, you can easily go to Constantine over here. He's in the central hub, and you can just look here, and they'll have artifacts for sale, and you can take a look at them and see when you unlock their abilities, right? But generally, it looks like level 80 is the basic one. Um, of course, each tier you reach and break through. So when you get to 120, it'll be stronger, right? 160 will be stronger. 200 will be the max. Um, keep that in mind, folks. But now we get to try our breakthrough. Um, I don't know what we're going to do if it doesn't reach the breakthrough, because what that means is that we're going to have to try it again. Um, this is very important, guys, when you're doing something like this. And this is like a lot of times where they get you. Say you save up all your materials, right? First of all, let's make sure we can do this. Okay, as you can see, our artifact here, see how it's kind of glowing and it wants to break through? Make sure you have a seal on you. Every time you do a breakthrough, guys, the success chance will go down a little bit, right? Now, 80 is not bad odds, right? But I've seen it fail at 95. I've had it fail at 95. Uh, Make sure you have a seal on you at least, just for your own mental health. Now, what the thing is, if say you try this and it doesn't break through, you do lose these materials if you don't use a seal. So basically, we'd have to get these materials over, and those can get costly. Uh, if you're using your money, it'll get costly. If you're using marks, it'll be costly. So keep that in mind, guys. The seal will at least be consumed instead of these catalysts. So, guys, it's the moment of truth. Do you think it's gonna break through? What do you think, guys? I'm getting nervous here. If it breaks through, we will get access to our God Wave, which is like a move that buffs everything up, which is kind of the crux of this build. Right, on top of the pets, we need the God Wave. So, praying it works. Praying it works, guys, please. All right, we have no choice. Let's try it. Let's try the breakthrough. Let's close the chat tab first of all. Make sure the CL's in there. Broke through. It broke through. So now, as you can see, now we have access. If we look at it, there we go. Now we have God Wave Strength, right? So now we can take a proper look at it. Activating God Wave Strength grants 200% increased damage for 5 seconds for one pet. As you can see, the number goes up the more levels it gets, right? Eventually, the way our character is going to be built, we'll have multiple pets out all the time. So you at least want it to be at 120 for 2 pets, right? Now the goal is to have 3 pets out at any given time. So eventually you'll need to get it to 300, right? But getting it to 80 is your first step, right? And then 120 is your second step. Um, the important part now is that we have access to it. Now God Wave Strength is a move here, as you can see. And the way we're going to do this is, since this is a pet build with a built-in pet, right? Every so often you can use Offering, it'll buff your pet up. And it'll do a big hit. So we'll pop God Wave, and then we'll pop a God Wave, and then we'll pop Offering. And he'll do an increased big hit, increased damage. We can take a look at it. It's not going to look significant now because, we're a very low level. If you're using a character, you will definitely notice the difference still, for sure. Where can we check that at? I know. Anywhere. Let's go to the House of Legends. Guys, I am so relieved that we got it there. That motivates me to keep going. Trust me, guys, it makes a difference. It makes a big difference. You're not going to see it on the target dummies unless you're like one of the people that just keep reading. You keep reading your combat logs over and over again. But we have our pet up. There's a little pet, right? Let's have him do his big hit first of all. You see, it's kind of hard to tell because we don't have, our logs out. Right, so now we can do God Wave. You see he's glowing. Now we do this. And there's a big increase in damage. Like I said, guys, you'd have to be fighting opponents to kind of understand. And then you just keep fighting, guys, and try to sync up your God Wave with your Offering. I know sometimes it's hard, but usually you could get one off and then the other one and not worry too much about it. And you could get an Offering in between as well, right? So every other Offering, you'll have access to your God Wave. And you'll know if you have it because your pet will have this aura. So a little aura. We'll try to get it one more time so you guys can see. Keep in mind, guys, try to keep your moves synced up. You should have it roughly the same time. We're going to move close to our pet so you guys can see. When we pop God Wave, see he's going. So he has increased damage for X amount of seconds, about 5 seconds. And then just try to keep them in sync. And big damage there. Very happy with it so far. Oh, guys, what a relief. Now we can actually start working on our other pets, right? Next step is getting the Quizlet up there to 80. That is our next step, right? Now, thing is, once we get Quizlet and Grimoire up to 80, we're going to need to really focus on Source Shard and get it to 200. And that is because we want all our pets buffed at the same time, right? Having a couple unbuffed, that's good, but if you have all of them buffed at the same time, you'll be doing maximum damage, right? So that is what we want, guys. Definitely want that. There's ways around this too. Say you're not a pet class, you can have an iconic pet out, which is like a little robot sidekick, and you can use your Sword Shard to buff him up. The thing is though that when you have things like that, the classes that don't have pets built in, usually the ones that do have a move that buffs their pet up even further. So you're kind of double stacking, right? Uh, gadgets arguably you can't buff that pet up, but it just hits hard anyway. So all you'd be doing is doing a lot of Godwave streams. But it could be worse. Uh, at least you can still kind of make a pet build if you're not a class with a pet in it. You won't have access like we do to your pet being able to tank for you, heal for you, that kind of stuff, but it'll be there doing damage. So that's good. We got it complete, guys. Oh my god, yes. Yes. So like I said, guys, the next step is getting Quizlet there. Um, you can start leveling that up right away if you want. It is up to you. What I think we'll do now, guys, is we'll just do our dailies for First Gotham. And then possibly switch to Bloodborne for a little while. Right, we could just keep grinding and doing these duos. That kind of like wears me out a little bit. So we'll switch to Bloodborne more than likely. And if I feel like getting up and changing all these damn wires. If not, we'll just do some DC stuff. Hopefully keep getting materials, keep leveling up our stuff. We're gonna need a lot more marks though to get these catalysts. Which means we're gonna need to like really queue up for some raids and get in there. And what if we do this, guys? Or while these things are cooking, we can queue up the omnibus raids and start our queue. Guys, what the omnibus does is it queues up everything basically. So since we have the raids highlighted, we start that queue up, ready up, and then we're just on an omnibus queue. So anything that pops or has a chance to pop will pop, and then we might be able to get in there. So we'll leave that cooking. Now, thankfully, guys, like I said, source God Wave won't hit your enemy. It should take massive damage, as you can see. You still get one free offering right there. We got some Enf medals. Quick, easy. You don't have to think too much about this. All you really have to think about a lot of the time is just making sure you use God Wave on time. You can even do it again, God Wave. That you can see they took a bunch of damage. Now they're dead. Right, so we're not even going to be missing one of our moves, because we took out a move to put God Wave in there. And just try to stay on sync, right? If you're gonna use a God Wave, try to make sure you have an offering until sometimes it doesn't sync up. Really can't do much about that. You can see that person got deleted. He got erased. He got annihilated. Right? So very powerful, very potent, very good. Let's do it again. And we messed up our timing there. Ah, we did get a raid going. Perfect. Ah, okay. So we are making progress, guys. I am going to need a lot of source marks for sure. Right, as you can see, sometimes enemies don't even survive that hit. They get hit and they just go away. They just get sent to the Shadow Realm, guys. So the build is starting to shape up. We're still going to need a lot of work to be done, though, but that comes with the game. Our pet was MIA. Sometimes your pet is like out of range. Can't really be helped. Sometimes, guys, you also have to gauge if the enemy's about to die, is it worth popping some of your moves? You might want to hold off on everything if you can. And when it comes to artifacts, guys, just really kind of read them and see if you can actually use them too. Right? Sometimes there's bonuses people don't talk about. And there, we can take another look at our artifact here. Right, let's take a look at the thing that's not unlocked. Right now, it's at 0, right? But eventually, the higher we get it, you'll get a chance to activate that, right? Eventually, you'll have a 25% chance to refresh the cooldown of God Wave Strength, right? God Wave Strength is on a cooldown timer, 18 seconds, right? Um, Now, if we get that ability unlocked, basically, we'll get a small percentage of a chance to refresh the cooldown completely, which the more access to God Wave you have, the better, right? You really want to be popping it whenever your pet is about to do a big hit to begin with. So if you go refresh it and constantly cast it, very good thing to do. You can see some of these raids are popping, but like they don't start. The thing is, everybody has to accept it, right? At least all 8 players that are getting that cube have to accept it. Oh, we got it. Okay, cool. And this is just like a random raid. We're queuing up for anything that's available. So we'll see who's in here. This looks like a Themyscira raid. What's this, Gates of Tartarus? Might be. No, this is not Gates of Tartarus. It is Gates. Okay. So hopefully everybody will be here. We need them all, guys. We'll let them funnel in, right? This is where like tanks and DPS and healers really got to work together. Sometimes, depending on how old the raid is, you can overpower it. We're gonna do our best here. Unorganized. We're not organized at all. Let's call out everybody. Keep in mind, guys, let's talk about it before we stop playing the game. You should be leveling up, not just artifacts, your allies, right? Trying to get your armor up there. You should be doing more than just that, right? Artifacts do count for a lot, though. I'm not going to lie to you guys about that. They're probably more important than skill points at this point in the game's life cycle. Just the sad nature of the beast. Okay, looks like we got it down. Basically, guys, we were just defending the Cyclopses so they could run into the barrier. It looks like we're at a point where a lot of us can overpower. There were mechanics that were very prominent here, collecting the weapons for these statues here, the colossal, the colossuses, the colossi. Right. I don't think we'll need to do that. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. We made it through. Uh, mask. Take mask. This part you can bypass by running all the way down the stairs, uh, killing the main enemy down there. Looks like we're just gonna take the long way. That's fine, guys. Right? You shouldn't really be worried about bypassing mechanics until like later on when you actually know the instance you're running. I am messing up my rotation a little bit. I should be casting that offering a little bit more often. Sometimes I don't see it there. Skill issue, personal skill issue, right? I should be trying to get it off as much as I can. And we did get a little achievement there. We're not doing too bad damage-wise, right? The scoreboard, guys, if you look at the leaderboard, generally it's the most boss damage done, right? But you can look at the overall damage here. So we're like in second place with overall damage. We're not going to get boss damage because we don't have a single target rotation. Uh, that does hurt our build a little bit. But for being like a new character, we're not doing too bad at all. This is where we kind of gauge if it's worth using our God Wave, right? Not right now, but maybe now. Also, keep in mind you should make sure your pet is alive, guys. Or try to make sure your pet's name should be right underneath yours. So as long as he's still ticking, you should be okay. Uh-oh. You can see we did it at the wrong time. Hmm. Funny enough, I don't actually see my pet anymore, and I don't hear him. There he is. That's him right there. Okay. He's running wild right now. Okay, this is what we're waiting for. This guy to come out. This is the boss, right? Of this part of the game right here. We have like 2 more bosses after this. Not too bad. We'll just take these because we don't have the passion for it. They really pulled ahead. 900,000 damage. Oh, yeah, some really top tier artifacts. Usually that's what does it, guys. Right. All we could do is try to keep up. Hmm. There was no voice for the dialogue there. Not bad at all. We are gonna have to start doing more of these raids, guys, for sure. Get our source marks back up. We need like hundreds, if not thousands, of those source marks, just for currency to collect, to buy things, to keep our generators going, all that kind of stuff. Which means some farming. And this is the last boss for this instance. Every so often he'll summon some, like, as you can see, astral ads. That's what I started calling them. They do a lot of damage, right? You do want to kill them as quickly as you can. We have some powerful people in here, so it looks like we don't have to worry too much. Keep in mind, the newer you are, the weaker you are. If you don't have powerful people in here, you'll have to pay attention to the mechanics a little bit more. Um, I'm not sure how toned down this actually is, because it looks like we're in here with some strong, like I said, some strong group mates. But if you're having a hard time, that's probably the reason, right? Cool. Uh, got it done. Okay, so we hit 700,000 damage, right? Boris damage is only 165,000. But if we look at this score right here, uh, overall damage is 700,000. Not bad, right? Some people got 300,000, 600,000. So we're kind of like in the top three-ish. Um, Happy with that. Very happy with that. So we got to complete. Put your gear on, check your marks, right? So now we have 32 marks, right? Back up from what, about 7 or 8? Not a bad deal, guys. And the more raids you do, the more marks you'll get. Um, I know Sunstone Matrix is like maybe the quickest one. Sometimes you just can't get into it, as you can see. Let's see if we have anything else in Curse Gotham, which we probably do. Okay, so we have a couple of things left to do here. So we'll wrap that up, guys. We'll get something to drink, and then we'll see what we should be doing with this stream. Probably switching the game up for a little while. And as usual, guys, I do want to say something while we're here. Thank you for stopping by, guys. We're going to keep grinding, folks. We're going to keep pushing. You know, no time to rest. Going to keep trying to stream as much as we can. And, you know, I appreciate it, folks. Appreciate you stopping by. As you can see, with that buff up, sometimes the enemies, they don't stand a chance, right? They get hit so stupidly hard. And that's just like the first iteration of it, right? We have a couple more levels to take it to. Um, Hopefully, we won't have too many issues getting everything up to 80 or so, because we're really going to need all the pets we can get out of this. Right? This is a pet build after all, and to need them. And I don't think we really need to use it right now, right? Not until the end, like right now. What was that? Okay, let's see. So we're done with this section, right? All we have to do is this one, another 5 minutes, and we're out of here, guys. Missed our chance. Let's get our big boys out. We called out the Shin Pokemon. Everybody's buff now. so much further. This should be it right here. Just like that, we're done. Now we can easily just work back to the rally point. The rally point is usually a save zone. So just turn our missions in, get the materials we need. And like I said, guys, now we can focus on leveling up other things. As usual, right, getting your first few levels will be quick, easy. Uh, Set level 8, we really want it to be at 80 so that the Quizlet is just out fighting, right? Eventually, though, you do want it to get to 120, this one in particular, because you want it to have Mega Blast. But just it being out shooting, doing damage, right? That's the important part that is buffed up all the time. And it's just out being active, throwing passive damage out there. That is the important part. That one, though, you definitely want at least 120, 160. At the very least, eventually, like if you don't want to level it up at all anymore, 160. But you should, at some point, try to get them to 200. I know it sucks. And like I said, artifacts are make and break for a lot of people. But if you're going to be a true endgame player, you're going to have to do it, guys. That's the nature of this game. Get that on. And we're done with our dailies, folks. I will clean this inventory up very quickly, and then we can move on. And we can talk about other things you should be doing, right? Because it's not all just about that. That's a big part of it, yes, for sure, right? But you should also be leveling up your allies as well as your augments, right? We've already went over the augment part, so let's just brush up on allies before we're done here, and then we can finish. Right, the augment part, you'll get all these little exobytes, right? Breaking gear down usually gets you some. Just keep leveling it up as much as you can. Allies, guys, you will get your ally mission, and then the person that gives it to you will become a vendor, right? Cyborg. Allies, guys, you can definitely just put whatever ally you want because it's not super important. But if you want to do min max and you want to be as strong as you can be, basically you have to look at the ally and see if the passives or the attacks are going to be something you want to use. Right, for example, Poison Ivy has Empowering Spores, which deals with poison. We don't have poison, so that will not really do anything for us. As you can see, its second passive or her second passive is a shield. When you shield, you have a 25% chance to, I guess, technically just reflect damage back at them. That's what it looks like. We're not really using shields too much, right? So that won't really do us any good. Just find the ally that fits your playstyle pretty much. I believe Zatanna is like supposed to be one of the better ones. I don't know about that too much. Let's see. Let's see where her passive is. Arcane Battery. After using 6 damage dealing abilities, give abilities summon pets, restored power, and increased damage dealt. So that looks like one that we are absolutely going to need. So this excludes Offering. So Offering doesn't count as an ability. Still looks like a good one. Looks like we're going to have to go for Satana for sure. And then her other ability increases abilities that apply a power interaction have a chance to pull a random animal from her hat, granting a buff for 12 seconds. So that seems good for like if you have a lot of stat effect moves or power interaction moves, which most moves that you have will have some kind of power interaction. So you're constantly buffing yourself. So she seems like an ally we should definitely go for. That'll be one of them. As you can see, we already have a couple allies. Uh, these are the poor man's allies, right? These are the ones you get for free, for the most part, right? House of Legends cost some marks, but as you can see, we have Power Thief here, so when you stun an enemy, you get some power back. That's a fine ability to have, guys. There are also some cheaper allies down here towards the bottom, as you can see. So if you're really hurting and you need something passive just for help, take a look at what they can do. This one gives you some health back every so often. No harm, no foul if you really want to ally there. Crypto plays go fetch, so you get more materials when you're farming. Keep in mind, guys, like I said, there is like a lot of pay to win in this game. You don't have to do it. As you can see, you can get them naturally. It's going to take longer for sure. But there's allies here. You can get them quickly. Remember, if you like subscribe or get the battle pass for a month, you will get a bunch of points, and then you can save those and eventually get something. Um, we're gonna try to be free to play for as long as we can, I guess, and see how far we get. It's not going too bad, honestly. Not going too bad at all. Um, we would need to focus on collecting a lot of source marks for sure, guys. A lot of source marks. Um, you could make your life easier and like build a tank or a healer first. They get priority when it comes to getting into groups. Um, but keep in mind though that if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to really do your job and heal and tank, right? You don't want to sit there and be a fake tanker healer. You're not really gonna help anybody out, including yourself, guys. Um, because you would like to learn. If you want to be a healer, you want to learn it, and people will notice if you're a good healer and tank, right? And then you'll get invited into stuff and really not have to worry about getting into instances. We're just going to break these last pieces of loot down, and then we'll take a short break, guys. I'm going to grab some waters, things like that, and we'll be back. More than likely, guys, we will just switch into Elder Scrolls. I think that way I won't have to change too many wires out. Let's break down our gear here. But successful. We were very successful today, guys. That's all we can hope for. Put these in. We're slowly getting stronger. Right, we're already at 126. We were like level 77. About a week ago? Right, level 80 something. We're already at 126. Right, I think the cap is like 400 something currently. But you make rapid progress, guys. Keep in mind though, like I said, if you want to like get into real content, because we're just doing like event stuff, very easy mode stuff, you will have to be truly built up, guys. Right? Uh, you can take your time with it though. There's no need to rush. And with that said, guys, let's take a short break. 5 to 10 minutes or so. I'm gonna, like I said, use the restroom, grab some water, that kind of stuff. We'll be back, guys. More than likely, we'll play Elder Scrolls for a little bit, and then we'll wrap the stream up, guys. For now, sit tight, guys. I will be back. Thank you for stopping by. All right, let's do it, guys. Oh. Okay, guys, we are back. So what the plan is with all this goes, guys, we don't have too much longer. Right, I think we'll do like a couple hours. We'll just see how it goes. Um, what I think we're gonna do with all this goes, guys, is we're going to make a character. And like I said earlier, I kind of want the character to be only for the stream, right? So we'll make him, we'll use him on the stream, we'll do the story content, we'll build him up. Um, so if you guys like it, definitely let me know, right? And we could turn this into mainstream. We have to be careful when it comes to MMOs, guys, right? You kind of gotta main one or two, right? I can't juggle too many of these games. So if we focus on Elder Scrolls, DC might take a back burner. If we focus on DC, Elder Scrolls might take a back burner. That's just, it's a lot to juggle, guys, right on top of our mainstream uh, gaming. The MMOs in general will take a lot of time up, so gotta focus on that. This is my main character here. I think what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna just go save it and use a class that I like, which is the Arcanist. We'll make a character. I'm thinking Khajiit, guys. What do you say? Make a Khajiit. Make a Khajiit. Basically, guys, we have what looks like one of every class here. Um, they're not really to get used, I'll be honest with you guys, right? Mostly the people that get used is this guy. This is my main character. He's an Arcanist. I love him. The Sorcerer takes second place, and then we were like slowly raising up a Templar. Um, but we will make a Khajiit, I believe. So let's go ahead and do that. Um, let's take his armor off. Guys, I take this very seriously, but I have kind of an idea in mind. I think we're just gonna make him look somewhat like a tiger. Catman's I can't really edit too much. They're just a big cat. Let's also change the name of this our category here. There we go, guys. And we are good to go here. Let's also back out for a second. I want to turn off these add-ons. I'm having an issue with these add-ons for sure. Um, I really want to do a clean uninstall, guys, but for some reason, whenever I uninstall this game, it just doesn't seem to work. I need to get rid of all this stuff here. Right. I need to get rid of it. A lot of this is out of date and it just doesn't work anymore for whatever reason. As much as I update a lot of this stuff, having some major issues with it, right? So what I want to do is I want to install it all, do a fresh install, not worry about all these goddamn add-ons to begin with, and then be able to play the game normally. I'm gonna have to like always tweak these things now, but we turn them off. Let's go back to character create. We'll do no gear here. We are Khajiit. Our class, make sure you pick the class you want. We are going to be Arcanist. You can check your gear to make sure the right class, right? Um, the body, what I think is we'll do kind of more of a slender build. Usually I just make them like as buff as possible, right? But we'll do like more of a thinner build here. And make them as tall as possible. The G's are pretty tall, short in this game, from what I remember. What do we do, guys? And we'll probably make our character and then like kind of call it, and then we could do the tutorial and all that kind of stuff like when we start the stream, right? Like the main stream for this, when it comes to this game. in mind, guys, posterior size is for the tail. We're not going to touch it too much. I always cap out the hand and foot size though for these characters. I don't know why, I just do. To work on his face a lot. Okay, so angular is more square. Do like here. Kind of like D. We're not messing around with too much of this stuff, right? We're just trying to get the basics down. And then we'll start tweaking. Do I want him to be a really old cat? I kind of like the wrinkles. But I don't want too many wrinkles, right? Like maybe this one. Right. My brain is always ticking when it comes to character creation, right? So I'm thinking he's an arcanist, he's a magic user, right? Maybe a little bit older and wiser. So that's why we're going to use that to begin with. We won't do too much with the forehead slip and everything right now, guys. We're going to change his hairstyle, though, for sure, right? No hair for now. Now, in terms of pattern, I'm thinking maybe just a simple tiger pattern. I kind of want something with darker fur, though, mostly because he's going to be Arcanist. Arcanists are all like black and green a lot of the time. So maybe we'll do something with that, folks. All right, so now that we have this complete all here, right? We can take a look at the torso markings, right? It'll be like scars, patterns, that kind of stuff. I think for Khajiits, the body marking is going to be simply patterns. And you can zoom in. Like I said, guys, I'm thinking about just doing like a simple tiger kind of thing here, and not worrying too much about it. But you can still have some stuff. You can have like some facial scars, etc. When it comes to Khajiits, some piercings, that kind of stuff. Um, so in terms of all of this, we'll keep in mind that maybe these faded kind of stripes. You can also change his fur color to be a little bit more prominent. Um, you can find the happy medium. Like maybe like I'm saying, maybe because he's older, we'll have like more of like a lighter pattern to kind of simulate him just being like having grays or whatever. Um, it's kind of faded over time. You can just go black and call it a day if you want. Uh, that's fine too. Or white. Right, it's up to you guys. And it will be your character you're making. I'm thinking maybe something a little bit faded. Um, hmm. um, this could take a long time, right? It takes me a long time to make characters. I'll delete a whole character, guys, if I'm not happy with them. That's already happened a bunch of times. Um, maybe more narrow hips. And you can, you can put some gear over it to kind of see how it looks to you guys. Comes the face. Now you can, well, now I can mess around with the hair, all that kind of stuff. Um, you can put, you can change the voice. You can give them some scars. You can change his cheekbone size and height. Um, I would like a brighter green. I think this is as bright as it's going to get, though. Maybe that right there. Now, angles, you want to look more evil, more sad. I think we'll do this one here. Um, we're going to save that other part there for later, right? And then just fleshing them out right now. I want them to look off. The fullness, guys. This is muzzle. Right there. Slightly bigger ears. Here's a flare. There, I think that's good. Okay, so when it comes to adornments and head markings and stuff like that, head markings is like scars. As you can see, um, we're gonna keep this clean for now. Although I might want one of these like little bloody imprints. But keep in mind, guys, though, that you know this would be harder to change later on down the line. So if you get like awesome pieces you really like and these kind of clash with it, you're gonna have to deal with that. This is why generally I keep these things clean for the most part. I kind of like this right here, though. I want him to have like a darker tone around his eyes to begin with, so that his like green eyes kind of pop. So this might not be too bad. Um, now I would like to change his brow height, but it doesn't look like I can do that from here. Oh, we can right there, brow height. So the eye squint, the more closed they are, the more evil he's gonna look. We should plug our phone in, guys. The more closed in, the more evil, the bigger, more innocent they'll look. Basic character creation 101, guys. Right, less wrinkles, more youthful. High cheekbones is more model-like, right? You just uh, take all this stuff into account. So I think I'm somewhat happy with this, but I would like him to have some kind of like, this might come with adornment. Let's see. Right, we want something more tigery, like some sideburns, maybe sideburns with like the beard. We kind of just passed it, right? Like maybe this will do good. We can, you can change the hair color here, make it white. Uh, Kind of like this right here. What do you guys think? Not bad so far, huh? Um, guys. We're doing some cross-referencing, basically. Okay. Okay. So I kind of like this here. Keep in mind that's just his adornment, right? Adornment is like beards, piercing, stuff like that. We can easily add in some hair, but I don't think we're gonna add in any. Yeah, I don't think any of this stuff is gonna fit with what we're looking for. So we're not really gonna use it, but we'll take a look at it regardless. This is kind of cool. Right now, this stuff fits what we're looking for here when it comes to this character in particular. So not gonna use any of this. Not bad hairstyles at all, though. It really is up to you to pick what you want. There's some options here for sure, but nothing that I think I want to use personally, guys. So I am happy with this right here. Pretty basic, right? Let's check him with some gear on. Not bad, not bad. Unfortunately, guys, like with this adornment and head marking, I can't really have a scar on him. Kind of like having like scars on my character. Um, so I guess what we can do is kind of increase his age and get some more fine lines on his face. I know it's not going to be noticeable. I'm not going to notice there though, and that's a big part of it. Now, I think this is good so far. Um, just looking at it right now, being as he's like more tigerish, thicker tail might do us some good. I'm tempted to make him really like just really big and buff too, but do that too much. We're gonna kind of keep him on the thin because he's more like a magic user, right? So still somewhat fit, I guess you would say. You can tweak his arm size, make it a little bit bigger if you want. You can make it really thin too, but maybe kind of more leaning towards that right there. I think that's okay. We're gonna make him very thin though. But I think I'm happy with this. Leave the legs right there. Okay. So this is the hard part, guys. We need to come up with a name. What name should we use, folks? Uh, um, we can try Carver. Should we play the tutorial? We should definitely play it, right? It's already in use. So this is the hard part, guys, because most of these names are taken at this point, and it's first come, first serve. So we will need to think of something good. And I don't know what we should use, guys. Right? What should we use here? I had Carver in mind, but that's a very basic name. I guess we can't get it. I don't really know Khajiit names like that either. What should we do? This is the part that's like actually drives me crazy. Maybe we should have thought about this before we started, because now I'm going to be stuck here thinking of a name. I could just call him Frank Gallows, but that would be a little bit too on the nose. What do you guys think? Um, and I would save that for more of a humanish looking race. Uh, hmm. I don't know. I don't know, guys. And generally name generators don't really work that well for this. Sometimes you get a little glean of something good. I'm not gonna lie, I did have my name set on Carver. Maybe we can use its origin. The name came from somewhere. Okay. What if we use this? That might work. Hmm. Shit. It's been taken. Oh, we needed a big bag of names to dip from, guys. Needed a big bag of names. Ah, this is so hard. This is the hard part. This is the worst part. Me thinking of stuff here. What do we do, guys? Let me think. Let me think and brainstorm here. What if we name them more Khajiit like, right? Don't Khajiits have like a lot of using their name? There's a problem with me. I don't know too much lore. Um, we also have to keep coming back into here, right? Because eventually, if you take too much time, it will kind of like out of the game for you. So let's think still. Did Maybe try just Carver with a K. I kind of have my name set, I mean, my heart set on this one, right? So, oh man, we're going to be here for a minute. Hmm. This has to be taken. Yeah. Okay. We have to get creative. Hmm. Hmm. Yep, you can hear me clicking, guys. You can hear me clicking a lot. Okay. Let's try this. Let's see if this works. Almost worth a shot. Hmm. There's gonna be a lot of swings here. We might need to just use Gallows, or I have a feeling Gallows is actually taken. But let's find out. If I use the full name, that would be available, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay. All right, so what else can we use here? What I'm doing, guys, is I'm thinking of like every move in the game with every possible spelling and something that would fit him, right? Because I don't want to call him something silly. So I'm literally trying to think of, actually, it might be something. You might see it blacking out because I think it's blacking out while I'm like looking up names, all that kind of stuff, and moves, like all that kind of ish. So you might see the screen blacking out a little bit. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. found something. Okay. Sure. Yeah, guys. Okay. So we're good to go here, guys. What I think we're gonna do is we're gonna save him now for like when we eventually start all the scrolls up. That was a little bit of a process. That thing could take me days, guys. There's been instances where it's taken me weeks to like really come up with something I'm happy with. I'll tell you just how I thought of that name, right? I looked at the Khajiit names, the story, and how they processed the names. And then I took his class and I took a move from his class and we kind of combined them all together, right? So apostrophe, arcanist, fake carver, squeeze those two names together. We have archivar. So there we go. Now he has a regular name that I'm happy with. It makes sense for his class and somewhat is in line with his kind of Khajiit history. Happy with that. What I think we can do though very quickly is kind of set up this part right here. So I don't like having some things in here, right? I don't like combat cues, right? Turn those off. And attacking innocence. Quick cast. And stealing. Oh yeah, new character. New character. We just finished him, but we're gonna save him for a later stream, right? I just wanted to get the creation out the way. Creation can take me days, guys. Days or weeks. So I wanted to get it out the way. Arcanist Khajiit, I think it fits everything perfectly. Let's make sure he's actually... Something else I should probably check is making sure he's part of Aldemary Dominion. Okay, he is. Nothing to worry about there. Now, the combat-wise, guys, gameplay, I really want to have... Interface. We're looking for something in particular. Yeah, so that's what we're doing, right? We're basically planning them out. I already knew that we were going to be like a certain class and race. The name, I kind of forgot this, first come, first serve. But we got it there, so I want the ability bar to always show. Ability timer on. Ability back bar row on. Show up your bars. Always show. Resource number is off. Ultimate number on. Some things we like having on over here. That way I always can see my abilities, that kind of stuff, guys. I'm very happy with this. He's as tall as a Khajiit can get in this game, which compared to a high elf like her, he's going to be pretty short. But I think I'm happy with this so far. I think I'm happy with this. So we will leave it here, guys, right? This is the tutorial. We can get some of his moves later on. But I think we will wrap up the stream for now, guys. I'm going to grab something to eat. And then we'll be back at 8 o'clock, guys, right? So the plan is we're going to do Witcher for a while, and then we might do DC or this. I kind of want to save this for a later stream, though. But he's going to be all set up. That's the plus side, right? So, guys, I do want to say thank you for stopping by. If you don't know who I am, my name is Frank Gallows, guys, and I stream every day, or as often as possible, guys. My main streams are at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Guys, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Still gonna see you later, Grumple. Have a good day, everybody. Guys, I'm out of here. See you later. Stream ending.
I feel my aching heart about to break. The gentle wind that blows fills the air with peacefulness. We're standing face to face, hand in hand, and then the evening twilight drapes its arms around us, and it melts away. It's just so funny, your smiling face and mine, they're not the same. But for just right now, it's as though I'm looking in a mirror, and everything is fine, no sadness at all. So now I draw the line to live another journey, 'cause even though we've been here together, we're still